A lot of goods who are not sold, especially in the luxury sector, are being destroyed because the companies do not want too many of their items on the market. So if something doesn't get sold or it's returned for some reason and it's just, laying in their warehouses, they're gonna destroy it. But luckily, there are new laws that's gonna prevent this. Hi guys, and welcome to the new location of filming my videos. I don't have all the furniture up here yet, so it's kind of like coming together bit by bit. So I'm still playing around with different settings to see what works. But I just thought it's going to be a nice change to film in another location, not where you are used to seeing me in my wardrobe room. And this is our upper floor that has been in the making for 4 years. I have mentioned in previous videos that we actually do everything ourselves. My husband built everything you will see up here. And now we are slowly buying furniture to fill the place. We are still missing certain pieces, and I still have to get some paintings and things, but it's coming along, and I'm more than happy how this looks. And I'm just so proud of my husband, because I cannot tell you how much work actually went in this floor, on with everything, with the walls and the floors, and it's all his work. And he's just unbelievable. And now I'm doing my part. He built everything, and now I'm designing which furniture will go where. I will definitely show you different parts when they are done, when they are finished, and like all the little touches. Everything here is almost done, but I actually ordered a special mat for my keypad for charging items, and I'm going to show you this in the next video when it arrives. And now we're going to dive into fashion news like we started. So I'm going to talk about Chanel first. Now, Chanel actually bought a new building in Paris just a few months ago. This is quite a new purchase, and it was interesting to me because even though Chanel is not a public company, so we don't know the exact numbers they earn from, what profit they have, we have been talking about Chanel not doing good for a while now. And even though you can never be sure what the numbers are, the boutiques, they don't really look like they're full. It doesn't look like people are buying a lot of Chanel lately, but it might be just in Europe. If you're from other places, please do comment below. Do you see Chanel boutiques being more full where you come from, like from America, and especially in Asia countries? Because China and Japan are particularly big usually in high designer and products. So I'm really curious if you see like a lot of people in your local boutique, so please do let us know. In Europe, it's mostly, it's holiday season is approaching, so I'm pretty sure the numbers will pick up now, because even though most people feel a bit different about luxury goods in this year, but it's holidays, so I'm pretty sure people will start buying at least small items, if not bigger ones. But Chanel did buy a very expensive building in Paris. And it's actually right next to Dior. It's on Avenue Montaigne. And that doesn't look to me like somebody is bleeding money, because if you don't have money, you don't buy real estate. It's just common sense. Maybe they're playing a game we don't know anything about. But to me, buying real estate means that you actually have like extra cash and you want to invest it in something. And real estate is still pretty much safe investment in most part of the world, especially in Paris, because the prices will just continue to go up and up and up. And this is the area of Paris that is well known for high brand designer goods. So it makes sense for Chanel to have another building for store or for their office in this particular area. So of course we don't know how much they paid for it, but considering the location, it's a safe bet that it was millions and millions. It was not a cheap buy, that's for sure. If we go back to the destruction of especially luxury goods. Now, fast fashion, on the other hand, has always been known of like quick turnaround, and sometimes they would like recycle things, but most of the things would get burned. And because this is not always quality materials, mostly it's like synthetics, it was really even more harmful to the environment because of all the fumes and everything that's happening while they burn and like destroy these items. But fast fashion has never been as big as it is today, especially online. It's just insane amount, and a lot of that it's just not sold, so it's either lays in the warehouse and it's keeping space from the new stock, or it's just circling around from one store to the other. And this is just, it's not good for the business and it's not good for the environment. We didn't have laws that would prevent companies from just burning these items and that way saving a lot of money by not keeping them in warehouses when obviously they were not going to be sold. And now we have law not only for the fast fashion, but actually for luxury fashion as well. Now, this law was composed, I think, in 2019. Part of it was added in 2022. Most of it came into effect in 2023. And now this year, in 2024, we see the final changes actually being implemented. And there are specific numbers how many items, especially a luxury brand, can destroy and how much they have to recycle. Considering the environmental impact, we actually have special guidance how companies can avoid people sending back items too often or returning them. And one of the things they mention at the top actually is that present the item accurately. And that's one of the things that I would say is the only one reason why I would ever return anything, because when you buy online a lot, you kind of figure your way around, you know the brands, you know how the fit will be. So unless it's like a false representation of the color and the cut, there's really no reason for you to send anything back. So you can be really a conscious buyer. But when they picture one thing and what you get is something completely another, of course you're going to send it back. And that again is a harmful practice. And this is another thing they're going to try to prevent actually by law. That you cannot like really misrepresent what you're actually selling. And I'm talking about European Union, not Europe as a general. So these are European Union laws. And I think this is one of the best things that has come out of European Union laws, because it will actually help us as customers as well, because they're going to be forced to show us the actual photo of the item, not like something they wish they would sell and then something completely different arrived. So that's actually a very good things that are happening. So this law, of course, is not black and white. There's going to be some exceptions. It's going to be like different stages how it's going to be implemented. So I'm just giving you a gist of what's actually coming and what's already here. I'm going to link the articles below, of course, if you want to read them in full. But, you know, this is like the synopsis of what's coming. So it's going to be much easier for us to recognize if the item that we want is actually the item that we want, or we're going to get something else, which I think it's definitely a step forward. Another thing that I found in these articles, and I actually didn't know that before, that a lot of brands, especially fast fashion, not so much luxury, they depend on overstock, which was a surprise to me, because I always thought that, you know, they have like little stock and they send it in one direction and then they create something else and send it in another, and then they kind of circle around. This was the point when I was talking about Zara, that I saw items in Cannes store that came to Slovenia like a year after. So it was obvious that things circle, but apparently they overstock because they are just terrified, in like inverted commas, that they're not going to be able to meet demand. So when something is like a really fashionable item or color, they will have overstock in their warehouses, and wherever there is demand, they will ship it there. And this is again a problem, because if this item is not shipped to the destination soon enough, you know, the demand will die down, and then you are stuck with all these items that you cannot sell. So it's really a tricky business trying to sell us things. And this is another thing why I think we have to be very conscious when we buy things, just to kind of think through if this is like something you're going to wear 3 times and throw it away, or it is actually sustainable. You will be able to wear it for a longer period. So what does actually get destroyed? We actually have this specific reasons named in this European Union agency article, and it says that the main reason that it's destroyed is actually because it's unsold. So return products make a problem for the environment, but not so much for the like destruction of the goods. But unsold items are the #1 reason why companies destroy their items. And you know, they're unsold for many reasons. Either it's because what we said before, for the overstock, or just, you know, the demand died down. And this is one of the things where high brand luxury items are actually in, let's say, a few steps ahead, because most of their items are classic And when they have seasonal collections, their numbers are so limited that it's just, I don't think there's ever a fear of being like overstock, because it's a small number. So it's going to be sold out, or it's going to be, maybe you're going to be left with a few items. It's definitely not going to be like a half warehouse of Chanel bags, because we don't like the color. I don't see that happening, do you? Now, even though the law about not being able to destroy unsold goods has been around for a few years now, it comes into effect in different stages, and France is now the first country that actually implemented it in full and also incorporated luxury companies in this fold. So they are not allowed to destroy unsold or leftover items. But France actually went a step further, and they included in this law electrical items and also personal care products. I'm guessing this is kind of like little gadgets we use for like better skin and things. So that cannot be destroyed. If it's not working anymore, the companies will have to come out with certain plan how to kind of recycle them. And I think this is just great. If you don't know why luxury brands actually do destroy their own beautifully crafted items, is because they have to preserve exclusivity. If there are too many items, luxury items on the streets, it's just not luxury anymore. That was one of the reasons where social media was very tricky when it started exploding with different bags, because you kind of had the feeling that, let's say, Dior saddlebag, which I still use and love, by the way, you had the feeling that it's like everywhere, and that was not the truth. I mean, in my life, I've seen 2 Dior saddlebags with my eyes on the street, 2. And on the Instagram and TikToks, you have the feeling like they're everywhere, or they used to be everywhere. And this is just because the luxury community is kind of like a bubble. And if we're buying these things, that means we are watching these types of videos, and we watch these types of content creators. So that's why we have like this image that they're everywhere. You know, I mean, if you walk down your local high street, I'm pretty sure you're not going to see any, or maybe you'll see like one luxury bag. So just keep it in mind when you are in this luxury bubble. This is why you think that luxury is everywhere, but this is really not the case. So thank you guys for spending time with me. Let me know your thoughts about all these new laws coming out, and also, how do you shop online? Do you return a lot? Like, what's your policy? I hope you are having a great time. Have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video.